There is a global network in the world that stretches across Africa, the Caribbean, North America, South America, Europe, the Gulf, and beyond. It has history, it has culture, it has talent, it has money, it has memory, it has influence, and yet it still does not always act like a real network. That network is African diaspora. Because when most people talk about the diaspora, they talk about identity, they talk about ancestry, history, culture, music, pain, pride, belonging, and origin. And all of that matters. But there is another question we do not ask enough. What if the African diaspora is not only a community? What if it is an unfinished network? Because a community gives people belonging, but a network gives people access. A community says we share something, but a network says we can build something, and that difference changes everything. The African diaspora is not small, it is not invisible, it is not without talent, intelligence, capital, influence, or ambition. It is present in almost every major cities in the world. It shapes music, fashion, sport, food, language, politics, business, and culture. It creates trends that the world follows. It produces founders, professionals, creators, artists, investors, students, thinkers, and leaders. But presence is not the same as connection. Influence is not the same as structure. Culture is not the same as access. Across the Afro-global world, people are building important things. A founder in Accra is building a company. A designer in Lagos is shaping a new creative language. A professional in London is opening doors in finance, media, or tech. A student in Canada is looking for a path into international work. And an entrepreneur in Atlanta wants to connect with Africa. A creative in Brazil is building around Afro-descendant identity and culture, but too often these people exist in separate spaces. They may share history, they may share culture memory, they may share a sense of origin, but they are not always connected in a practical, organized, and useful way. And this is where the things become serious. The issue is not that diaspora does not exist at all. The issue is that the things are not strong enough. Diaspora is not poor in talent. It is poor in coordination. Allow me to say that people exist, ideas exist, business exists, opportunities also exist, but much of it remains scattered. And when people are scattered, value gets lost. A founder in Ghana may need access to a serious investors in Atlanta, but they do not know where to find that person. A business owner in Lagos may want to reach the Caribbean market, but there is no clear bridge. A young professional in Paris may want to move into media, but business, technology, or international work, but they do not know who can guide them. A student in Toronto may want to understand Africa's opportunity landscape, but the map is unclear. So the issue is not identity, the issue is infrastructure. Because many people already feel connected emotionally, but emotional connection alone does not create business. It does not create investment channel. It does not build strong professional circle. It does not create a reliable institution, and it does not move capital, knowledge, talent, and opportunity at scale. Culture can open doors, of course, but system keep the door open forever. And this is why diaspora must move from symbolism to structure, and that is very important. So the question is simple, but it is also deep. How can the African diaspora stop thinking only like separated communities and start thinking like a real network? Because the future of the Afro-global world will not be built by pride alone. Pride matters, of course, but pride is not enough. The future will be built by connection, trust, information, capital, mobility, media, and institution. It will be built by people who know how to connect world. So this conversation is not only about identity, it is about power, it is about access, it is about opportunity, it is about how people, cities, ideas, business, and communities can move together with more intention. Because the diaspora does not need to become one country, one culture, one opinion, or one voice. That could be realistic and necessary. Of course, the diaspora deserves it because it has many languages, many stories, many history, many cultures, and many experiences. The goal is not to erase those differences. The goal is to connect them, and that makes sense. A network is not just a group of people. A network is a system. It is made of people, places, relationship, information, trust, movement, and opportunity. A network works when values come, when value can travel. Ideas must travel. Skills also must do so. Knowledge, inductions, mentorships, media must travel also, and opportunity must do also. That is what separates a community from a network. A community can be emotionally connected, but a network is practically connected. A community can remember the past, but a network can build the future. A community can celebrate identity, but a network can create access. And this is the major shifts the African diaspora need. Because the diaspora is already global, it is already present in the world major cities. It is already influencing culture. But influence without structure is fragile. Culture can move faster, but opportunity needs systems. This is why the next step is not only to celebrate the diaspora. The next step is to organize it. Not in a rigid way, not as one institution controlling everything, not as one political project, but as a living network of cities, people, media, platform, funders, professional, investors, student, artists, cultures, institutions, and business communities. To understand this clearly, we need to look at what makes a network powerful. First, a network needs nodes. A node is an important point inside the system. It can be a person, a city, a company, a school, a media platform, an investor, a cultural center, an event, or a professional community. In the Afro-global world, the node already exists. Lagos is a node, Accra is a node, Nairobi to Johannesburg, London, Mexico City is a node, Dubai become a node, a Caribbean is full of nodes, Africa is full of nodes, America do so. But a node alone is not enough. A city can be important, a person can be talented, a company can be strong, but without links, the network remains what? Weak. So the second thing a network needs is links. Links are the bridges between people and places. A link can be an introduction, a business relationship, a media platform, a conference, a newsletter, a podcast, a diaspora investment, clubs, a membership program, a city guide, or even a trusted recommendation. Without links, people remain isolated. And when people remain isolated, opportunity does not move. That's why the diaspora needs stronger practical bridges. Who can connect a founder in Accra with a buyer in Toronto? Who can connect a designer in Lagos with a store in New York? Who can connect a student in Paris with a mentor in Nairobi? Who can connect an Afro-Latin entrepreneur in Colombia with a business partner in Ghana? Who can connect a Caribbean professional with opportunities in Africa? Who can connect Africa founders with diaspora capitals? These are not symbol questions. These are infrastructure questions. And this is where media become important. Because information is infrastructure. And that is very clear. That's why storytelling matters. Not only because story inspires us, but because stories show us who is building, where they are building, what they are building, and how others can learn from it. The third thing a network need is trust. This may be the most important point because connection without trust is weak. People do not invest without trust. They do not recommend without trust. They do not collaborate without trust. They do not open serious doors without trust. And many diaspora spaces struggle because trust is not always clear. Who is serious? Who is credible? Who has done the work? Who can be introduced? Who can manage capital? Who is building for the long term? Who is only chasing attention? This question matters because a network grows when struggle grows. That's why strong community build reputation systems, institutions, professional circle, business, associations, alumni networks, build cultural centers, build investor groups, trusted media, events, databases. They build memory. Over time, people know where to go, who to call, who to trust. They know where opportunity is. That is when a diaspora become powerful, not only because it has many people, but because those people can move together without starting from zero every time. The fourth thing a network needs is flow. Flow means movement. The movement of what? Money, ideas, talent, knowledge, culture, media, people, and opportunity. Today, value already moves through the diaspora. Money moves through remittances. Culture moves through music and fashion. Also, idea moves through social media. People move through immigration. But the deeper question is this: can more value move through strategy? Can diaspora capital move into business, not only family support? Can diaspora knowledge move into schools, startups, and institutions? Can professionals mentor young builders? Can move across borders easily? Can Afro-global media connect opportunities faster? Can cities become bridges instead of isolated destinations? And can travel become more than tourism? Can it become connection, businesses, learning, and belonging? Because the diaspora already moves, how it must move with more intention? That's the question we must ask. Now, how it must move with more intention? The fifth thing a network needs is institutions. And this is where things become serious, because inspiration is easy, but institution is hard. Social posts are easy, but institutions are hard. Events is easy, conversation is easy, but institutions are hard. And you know what institutions are, what make ideas last. A magazine can become an institution, a business club can become an institution, a fellowship can become an institution, a founder can become an institution, a conference can become an institution, a research center can become also an institution, a network of founders can become an institution. And this matter because the diaspora cannot depend only on a moment. It needs memory, it needs structure, it needs continuity, it needs places where knowledge is stored, organized, and shared. Because every generation should not have to start again from nothing. And this is truly real. That is one of the biggest problem in many communities. People build, but the story disappears. People succeed, but the lesson is not recorded. People open doors, but the path is not mapped. People create opportunities, but others do not know how to access them. So the diaspora loses memory. And when network loses memory, it loses what? Power. That's why documentation matters. Art matters, because media is not only content creation, it is birth. Media is what? Memory. It tells a community what it knows, what it has built, what it is building, and what it can become. This is not only story. We can already see pieces of this network forming. Look at the relationship between Africa and the diaspora in business. More entrepreneurs from the United States, the Caribbean, European, and Latin America are looking at African markets with new interest. Some are investing, some are relocating, some are building partnership, some are returning to explore opportunity, not only identity. But the challenge is that many of these movements are still formal. People depend on personal contact, scattered information, social media posts, or contacts. That can work for a few people, but it does not build a strong system for many. Now, look at culture. Afro-descendant culture is one of the most powerful cultural forces in the world. Music from Africa influences clubs in Europe and America. Caribbean culture shapes global sounds. Afro-Latin identity is becoming more visible. Afro-African fashion, food, art, and designing are reaching wider audiences. The world consumes the culture, but the builder behind the culture does not always control the value chain. That's why the network matters. Because if culture travels, business should travel too. If music traveled, ownership should travel too. If fashion do, distribution should do too. If identity travel, opportunity should do the same. Now, look at cities. Afro-global life is not only shaping in one place. It is shaping in Lagos, Accra, Abidjan, Nairobi, Johannesburg, even Mexico, and many other places in the world. Each city has a different role. Some are cultural hubs, some are business groups, some are mobility, some are places, memories, and some are places of opportunity. But the real power appears when these cities are connected. Imagine a young founder in Lagos learning from a diaspora entrepreneur in Atlanta. Imagine a Caribbean creating a partnership with an African fashion house. Imagine an Afro-Latino professional discovering opportunity in Accra. Imagine a media platform that help people understand where to go, who to meet, what to build, and which opportunity are emerging. That's why network does. It turns distance into connection. And it is something we must understand and apply as diaspora people. So what can we learn from all all of this, what can we learn? So what can we learn from all of this? The first lesson is that identity is powerful, but identity alone is not enough. Knowing where we come from matters, but the next step is knowing what we can build together. The second lesson is that the diaspora does not need to become the same everywhere. It does not need one accent, one culture, one opinion, or one political vision. Its diversity is part of its strength. The goal is not informity. Its goal is connection. The third lesson is that opportunity needs infrastructure. Talent is not enough if people cannot find each other. Capital is not enough if there is no trust. Culture is not enough if there are no systems. Good intentions are not enough if there is no organization. The fourth lesson is that media can become a bridge. A serious magazine, podcast, interview, guide, a profile can help people discover who is building, where opportunity is emerging, and how different parts of the Afro-global world are connected. The fifth lesson is that trust is the real currency of any network. Without trust, people stay cautious. With trust, introduction happen, capital moves, partner opportunity become easier to access. And the final lesson is this: the diaspora will not become a powerful network by accident. It will become one because people decided to build it. To do so, we must be people who can introduce ourselves to each other. We must be people who can document our own journey. We must be people who can be able to invest together as diaspora. Traveling must be made with purpose. Diaspora who can create institutions, build media, apart from being people who ask better questions. We must also be people who can connect worlds. So we as diaspora, we have a big challenges to accomplish, to make things happen. And this is why SenKofa exists. SenKofa is not only interested in what is popular, it is interested in what connects. It is interested in the ideas, people, cities, businesses, cultures, and opportunities shaping the Afro-global world. Because the present and the future will belong to those who can connect world. People who can work together, people who trust each together. Not only those who speak loudly, not only those who follow trend, not only those who react to the news, but those who can see patterns, build trust, move value, create systems, and connect people across distance. That's why the diaspora must think like a network. Because identity tells us where we come from, but networks can help us decide where we are going. The African diaspora is not waiting to be created. It already exists, but now it needs stronger connection. It needs better maps. It needs better bridges. It needs better trust. It needs better institution, better media. It needs better way to move ideas, capital, talent, and opportunity. Because the diaspora does not need to become one single thing. It needs to become something more useful, a living network, a network that helps people find each other, a network that helps builders grow, a network that helps ideas travel, a network that helps capital move with purpose, a network that helps young people see possibility, a network that helps business across borders, a network that helps culture become more than influence, a network that turns belonging into access. So maybe the real question is not only where do you come from? Maybe the question is, Who are you connected to? What bridge can you build? What opportunity can you share? And that is very important. What system can you help create? And those questions are questions that we need to ask ourselves as diaspora members. So, because the future of the diaspora will not be built only by memory, it will be built by connection. And if the diaspora is already everywhere, then the next challenge is clear. Can it learn to move like a network? Is it possible? So if you think that is possible, like this video, comment and subscribe to follow SenKofa. As diaspora members, we are here to help you out. Thank you if you have come to the end of this video. See you in the next podcast. Ciao.